Hey guys, Daryl here. Just repairing a bunch of Corne-ish Zens with new resistors. Thought I would record a little bit to show you guys what I'm doing. Um, it's actually not that bad when you do it a couple times, which hopefully you won't have to do. But if you're planning to do this on your own, I thought I'd record it and just kind of give you an indication of what it's like to do. Um, Really, all you're going to need is obviously some small tweezers, soldering iron. Um, X-Acto knife helps me. I don't know. You don't necessarily have to use it. You actually don't even really need solder. But I have one. I have some here just in case. Um, so I've probably sent you resistors if you're part of the group buy. They're incredibly tiny, as you can see in the microscope view compared to my finger. They're pretty small. I've put extras in the package because they fly all over the place when you use small tweezers. So I'm using just these I don't know, Amazon specials. They're not bad. The tips uh, the tips tend to be okay. If your tips are not aligned, like these ones are a little bit not even at the tip, that makes it hard to pick up small stuff. But if I grab it a certain way, I can actually pull the end in a little bit, and it's but the tips should be kind of exactly the same distance. The one's a little bit longer than the other. For really small components, that's kind of a pain, but I've made it work. Um, so yeah, might as well get right into it. Oh, and I'm using a microscope. It's really, I get, if you have really good eyesight and maybe one of those magnifying lamps or something like that, it probably would be okay. My eyesight isn't the greatest, and I know a lot of other people are like that too, especially people who work on the computers all the time. So I just got like this. It's literally like 25 bucks on Amazon or something like that. This is the HD version. It says 40 times to 1,000 times. There's no way that that's how much it zooms, but yeah, this is more than enough to do what we need to do. So I'll just put this back in here for a sec. All right. So uh, pulling a Zen from someone's order. it is it is what it is. I got to do what you got to do. Um, I just remove the back a bit. You don't have to take the if so. Originally I was thinking I was going to use hot air to do this, but I found that it's a lot easier and less invasive to do it with soldering iron. Um, the hot air, I had to mask it to prevent all the surrounding components from kind of loosening up as well. So I don't use hot air now. All right, I'm just going to switch views here so that the the microscope is front and center. All right, so this is the left side. So on the left side, R6 and R5 are the ones that we're dealing with. So that's R5 here and R6 there. Um, yeah, this one is easier. The right side actually the one resistor is really close to a socket, a hot swap socket. So that makes it a little harder because my iron always seems to hit it. Um, so what we're going to do is we're going to take R6 first. We're going to remove R6. And the easiest way I've found to do that is to grab it with tweezers, loosen one side, and then lift uh, the resistor out without unsoldering the other, uh, the resistor itself is weaker than the solder joint or the pad on the PCB, so it actually removes the one pad from the side of the resistor, and then it's just a matter of melting and removing the pad from the other side. It's easier than having to try to melt both sides of the resistor at the same time trying to get it out. It's a little, at this size, it's pretty difficult to do. So I get my tweezers out, grab a hold of this resistor, come down. Actually, there we go. So there you can see I've removed the resistor, and it's hard to tell really from this view, but there's actually part of the resistor still stuck to the side above the letter R. So what I'm going to do is get in there with my my soldering iron and melt this, and then you can see that piece come off. There it is there. There's a bit of solder on that there I'd like to salvage if I can. And put this back on the pad. Basically what you'd like to do is get a nice, now there isn't a lot of solder left on that pad. So I'm going to have to add a little bit more. On this side, if it comes off smoothly, this side is fine. All you want to do is touch it up a little bit so it becomes a nice little round ball like that. And then this side needs a bit more solder. And I can tell that because I'm getting the light reflected right back up at it, whereas the ball doesn't reflect the light the same way. So I'm going to grab this chunk out of here. I'm going to put a little bit of solder on the end of my my iron, not too much. Of course it's messing up. Maybe it'll work better this way. Heat the pad. There we go. So that's too much. I'm going to take a bit off. You don't need that much on the pad. Otherwise it, oh, look at that, eh? That's being annoying. Okay. Where is my flux pen? There it is. Alright, there's a dab of solder on there now. That should be good. I added a bit of flux just so that the solder would kind of stick to the pad and clean everything up. I don't use flux every time. If I remove that, so technically if you and maybe we'll try that on the R5, if you remove this by unsoldering both sides of it, you'll probably have enough solder on the pad to just put a new one on. But all right, so I've got a bunch of resistors sitting alongside here that'll pick up one. So here's where my X-Acto knife comes in handy, because it sticks, as you can see, it's sticking to the tweezers. These things are so small, and so I use the knife just kind of hold it down. Now this thing is upside down, of course, so let's flip it over. This is the hardest part of it all, is kind of doing something in microscopic scale. Every movement moves the piece like crazy. All right, so I'm going to grab my soldering iron. I'm going to place this over the spot that I want it, like that. I'm going to bring in my soldering iron and touch this side. And I can see it melt there, and then I pull up, and I should get a nice little fillet on the outside. No, it's not going properly placed. I don't know why that's not sticking. Oh, this wasn't down. There we go. I saw it melt that time. What the heck? There we go. So I've done like 6 or 7 of them already, just to make sure I had my process down pat. And that's the first time that I've ever had it where the piece didn't stick down. So I rotate because well, actually I think the video is reversed, but I'm right-handed, so I always want to have the side that I'm soldering facing my soldering iron. So I just rotate the whole PCB 180 degrees. So now all you have to do is hold it in place. So I'm putting the tweezers just to kind of hold it, and then I bring in the soldering iron. I have a flat side that I need to, there we go. Melts and pull up, and that's that. Now it looks messy, but you're zoomed in a million times. Uh, the actual view is not nearly as bad. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you this or not, but it doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look as bad as it does under the microscope, so we're probably all right there. And I should have said when I started that you'll know when it works when you plug in a USB-C cable. The blue light will flicker and the battery will start to charge. If it does not happen after the fix, then you have to check the soldering, make sure that it's seated correctly. So we'll go to do the other resistor now. So we did R6, now we go to R5, which is in this grouping of 3 here. I'm going to turn it this way so that the side I want to undersolder is facing my soldering iron. Get my tweezers and my iron. So I'm going to grab this guy, get in there with my iron. It melts, and then I pull up, and that's off. And then we go back to this pad. I get it. There we go. A little piece stuck to the iron, so I was able to pull that away. And like I said, then you just want to touch up your pads a little bit so it's a nice little round bump. at my resistor, my new one. They all seem to be upside down here. Well, there's one that's not. Of course. Sorry, Mom. We'll have to talk later. Okay. So these are a bugger to pick up, especially if they're. So I just peeled a bunch and out of the packing and dumped them. So there's all over the place. There's a new one. I'm gonna get my knife down on it. Actually, it's not bad, but I'm just gonna hold it with the knife and then grab it. Oh. Okay, that seems good. Whoa. So that's what I mean. They pop out and then they're gone. Where did that go? Didn't go far. Oh, that's sitting on top of C27. Oh, that one's gone. That one's long gone. Yeah. Gotta get another one. This is why there's extras in the package. Gotta flip this over. So this one PCB is taking longer than it took me to do the whole set, or a whole keyboard last time. But that's what it is. It's good learning. All right. My soldering iron. It looks like my hand's shaky, but it's just the magnification of the movement. There we go. That one worked well. I'll flip it around 180. And hold it down. Get in there with my iron. Here, this one you have to be careful not to touch the black plastic on the back of this USB. So you have to be a little more vertical with your iron. There, that one worked really well. Okay. Now, oh, that's just joyous. I can't I can't use my my USB-C cable because it's actually it's plugged into the hub that's running my webcam right now. That wasn't very good planning, but I have a regular USB cable that I can at least show you how to test it. So when you have it finished, plug the USB cable in, the USB-C cable in, and you can see there the blue light flash and the oh, the battery is coming. There we go. These two lights would not light up if your USB-C cable or if those resistors were not soldered in correctly. So that's how you'll know right away. Yeah, unfortunately, if I took my USB-C cable and plugged it in right now, we'd lose all the video, and that's kind of defeats the point. So yeah, that's essentially how to go about soldering those. Take your time. there's no sense in rushing this. Uh, there are 2 spare resistors in the package that I sent to those who requested it. Uh, I'm probably going to get 150 requests now for resistors, but it's what it is what it is. Yeah, if you have any questions, hit me up in Discord and I'll try to answer them. There's a bunch of good soldering folks there that would likely chip in as well. So, yeah, any questions, hit me up there. Thanks. Talk to you later.